Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Forward Pharma, ticker symbol FWP. Now, this is a stock that I believe currently has a very interesting setup going for it with a lot of potential in the next month with a potentially massive catalyst going for the stock. So I'm going to break that down, then take a look at the charts as always, breaking down key levels and key indicators so we know how to best play this stock moving forward. So without any further ado, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, so here's the catalyst that is upcoming for FWP, why a lot of people are excited about it, and the opportunity that it presents. As you guys can see, there is a European patent lawsuit right now that FWP is currently appealing, trying to get a $1.25 billion payout. That would be all cash that FWP could put in their pockets, and it would completely change the outlook of the stock. And the reason I say that is because FWP is a very small cap micro float stock with a public float currently of only 6.78 million and a market cap of only $55 million, meaning that if they got that win on the appeal, and to be fair, I know the odds are not great to win the appeals. However, if they were to win the appeal, all of a sudden this market cap needs to be at least worth what the company has in cash, which would then become 1.25 billion, meaning that we should see the stock price increase about 20-fold in order to match up with that. Meaning, fair value for the stock if we were to win the appeal would be around $150. And as a result, as we get closer to this appeal decision, we're going to start seeing people load up here. And the stock price is going to move pretty easily when people do decide to load up because the float is so small. I'm not saying that this stock is going to go to $150 before the appeal. However, a run to maybe $15, $20, or even higher than that is definitely possible here on the chance that they do win the appeal because, people will want to have a stock at $15 if fair value for the stock is $150. So that's where the opportunity is. And obviously, there are big names already watching it, talking about it. And so that's a good sign. We see that more and more people are going to have their eyes on it as we get closer to that appeal date of September 6th, less than a month away. And as a result, I'm expecting a similar move to what we saw in July once this story first came out. Okay, we saw a move all the way to highs of about $20 before finally having this big drop off. And now what we see is a very nice discount that, we can use, assuming that, there is going to be a second run up closer to the catalyst date. It's better to load while it's cheap than compared to, when it does get up to $15. Because if it gets back up to $15, $20, well, now you don't really know whether that appeal is going to go in your favor or not. And if it doesn't go in your favor, well, you could end up losing a lot of money. So that is kind of where I'm basing my logic at. That's why earlier this week I started a swing position in this stock on the long side. But that's just, my 2 cents on it. But now let's actually break down the chart. So taking a look at what we got for indicators, we are seeing kind of, mixed results here. We did see a bit of a drop off on Friday, nice little $8 kind of bounce from there. We did hit lows of 784, but then got that nice bounce into close 805 being the final closing price. Taking a look at the indicators, however, the 50-day moving average does sit at 932, so we are below that, meaning shorter to intermediate term, the outlook for the stock is a bit bearish. However, longer term, taking a look, we see that the 200-day moving average is at 772. We are sitting above that, meaning that the long-term outlook of the stock is bullish. On top of that, final indicator we're going to take a look at is the RSI. We can see that the RSI currently right below 40, and that means that we are pretty much in neutral to oversold territory, which is a good sign, meaning that if we do flip back to the bullish side and get some momentum and volume in the stock, well, this stock has a lot of room to run. And we saw kind of what happened last time here. We were at this level, and all of a sudden, some volume returned, and we made a move all the way from, the $7 range to highs of $20. And I'm fully expecting another move similar to that to happen very soon. But now let's get into the key levels. So, Not really much to discuss here. Support side, this is kind of the big level you want to hold, the 784 to 772 range. That is where the 200-day moving average is. So if you want the bullish momentum to remain on FWP side, you definitely want to see it hold this level. And I do believe that buyers are going to be interested in buying in at this level. However, if that does not hold, 725 would be the next support zone that you could load up on. When it comes to support levels, I always say this, that you should either, if you're interested in either opening a position or adding to your position, you should always try to do so near support levels. By doing so, you end up minimizing your risk and maximizing your upside. But speaking of upside, taking a look at the resistance levels for next week, first one's going to be at 828. After that, room to 890. After that, we're going to have a 50-day moving average retest. So big kind of resistance zone from 930 to 940. Above that, things are going to start to open up. We can expect to move back to 1020, then 1120, and then we can start to kind of approach where my first price targets are between this $14 and $16 range. I do think that we are going to see a return to that level happen just because, the cap is very small. There are already big names on it, and, we're going to get closer and closer to that catalyst date. So this is just kind of, your way of beating the pump and dump game. Okay. This is going to be a pump and dump stock, a pump and dump play. I'm fully aware of it. However, if you can hop in before the pump happens and if you can dump before the dump happens, well, all of a sudden you may turn yourself a very, very nice profit. One other kind of indicator to point out for you guys to keep in mind, kind of so when this stock is going to start to make that move to the upside, is the volume. Okay. Especially when it comes to a float this small, volume spikes are going to have very, very big effects on the price action, mainly to the upside. So if you're wondering when that next move to that $15 level is going to happen, I believe it's going to happen when we see a volume spike again to that $15 level. As you guys can see, when we saw that first run to $20 in July, that was when volume started to pick up all of a sudden. Okay, we saw this big move up where, prior to that, volume would always kind of be in that 100,000 range. And then we saw a couple volume days where all of a sudden we were at 1 million in volume or 2 million shares traded in volume. And it's dropped off since then. And obviously the price has dropped with it. However, if that volume returns, then expect to see another big run up. And that is an opportunity that I don't want any of my followers to miss. But let me know if you're interested in the play, what you think is going to happen. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, hit me with a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your night.